Hello again. This is Pastors David and Rachel Oakes, and we're with you for another Israel 120. Today we're standing just outside of the banks of the Jordan River in a location known as Old Gesher, and it is between Beit Shean and the southern tip of the Sea of Galilee. It's a very interesting site, the location of three bridges historically, which served as the main passage between Israel, what is Israel today, and Jordan. So there's a lot of history that's gone on here, and Pastor wants to give you some teaching from the Word.
You know, this is such a wonderful site, and I came here after reading about this community. The people started to come. Primarily they were people who were born here in what was the state of Israel before it was Israel, pre-48, and German immigrants that came in 1939. And they came here and began to establish a kibbutz in this area. And then they thrived and prospered. And in 1948, during the War of Independence, for 3 days before they declared the independence of the state of Israel, this community took terrible bombardment from the Jordanians. And then there was a 2-week lull in the action, and then the Iraqis, joining with the Arab forces, came and totally destroyed this kibbutz. When I read about the people, because they left this place when their homes were totally destroyed, and they came back just a little bit down the road and began a new community called Gesher. We'll call it New Gesher for our purposes. And it just reminded me of something so dynamic in the Word of God. In chapter 26 of Genesis, speaking about Isaac and what he did. And Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water, which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names by which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley and found there a well of springing water. And the herdmen of Gerar did strive with Isaac's herdmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they digged another well, and strove for that also. And he called the name of it Sitnah. And he removed from thence and digged another well. And for that they strove not, and he called the name of it Rehoboth. This community reminded me of that. Their community was destroyed. They lost lives. And if we were to show you the remnants of this community, you would see that all but one building was destroyed. But that didn't deter them. They went away for 2 years, and they came back, and they digged the foundations again of a new community, and they rebuilt their community. So often in our Christian lives, people face opposition and destruction in their life, and they're ready to throw it in right then and there. We have to be like Isaac of old, and we have to be like these folks here that in 1948 and then in 1950 came back and digged again and rebuilt their community. They were barely any further away from the enemy when they came back as what they were here when their community was destroyed. And you can see this fence right behind us, right here, this barbed wire fence. That's the border. You can see a little bit further, and you'll see you'll see the Jordan River. That's the border. Half of it belongs to Jordan, half of it belongs to Israel. You can look at beyond those trees there, and that's Jordan right there. And they came back into the same area, and they dug their well again. We need to be that strong in our faith, in the Word of God and in our God, that we, when we face opposition, don't just throw in the towel, but come back and dig another well. We'll see you next time.